Hey guys, Yulia here. So today I'm putting together my flower garden. I am really excited. I've been waiting for it for like 2 months and I have never planted a flower garden, which is, sometimes they're called cutting gardens. So basically it's a space specifically designated for flowers that you'd be cutting for bouquets for your home, or give it to your family as gifts, which is, by the way, is a great idea for a present. Anyway, I know little about flower gardens, but I did some research on what kind of plants I can put in there. So I will show you a selection of the plants that I will be putting in my flower garden. It does include both perennials, bulbs, tubers, and annuals. So let's get started. So the first flower that I picked for the cutting garden is a Dahlia, Rebecca's World. They start out white with some red and then they turn red. I believe I've never grown these, but I am not a huge red color fan in the garden, but I really love them in bouquets because they really pop. So this is a good kind of excuse for me to grow red flowers. These Dahlia tubers I started about a month and a half ago indoors, and as you can see, they're all ready to go outside. They have buds on them. They're about to bloom maybe a couple of weeks. So this is number one, plant number one. Plant number two is Gladiolus. So these I got at Costco, and I also started these indoors about a month ago. And the cultivars are Isabella and My Love. So again, in like this red color scheme, or pink, magenta. So the idea behind these Gladiolus, the ones that I started indoors are going to bloom sooner. And I also left some bulbs in this bag, so I'm going to put these bulbs in the garden, so those will give me another wave of blooms that I can cut for the bouquets indoors. So again, I've never done this before, so this is a tryout. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so for annuals, I have baby's breath, and generally baby's breath, you have to wait for a year for them to bloom, but this cultivar is called early Snowball, so I don't know if that means that they're gonna bloom early and this year. Maybe not, I don't know, but I'm trying these out. I started these indoors probably like a month ago. So there we go. Then I have these cosmos. These are seashells, also started indoors. These are all like in the pink color scheme. Now these are one of my favorites. I grew these a lot as a child. These are annual asters, and they look very different from perennial asters. They have very large heads, and they pretty much bloom all summer. They're really great cutting flower, but because they get those really large flowers, they tend to get floppy. So I think I'm going to have to stake these here. But I really miss these. Can't wait to see them bloom. Now, this lovely empty container was a Delphinium that I started indoors, and they were doing really well. I had tons of plants here. I put them outdoors, and the slugs ate every single one of them. So, no Delphinium from seed. Really upset about this. But since I can't wait for Delphinium from seed, I went to the store and I bought some as plants blooming. Check this out. This color is absolutely stunning. Really blue, like cobalt blue color. They're almost iridescent. They have, like, they're sparkly. I just love this Delphinium. Now this one is a perennial, and it's blue butterfly, and supposed to bloom all summer long. I don't know if it makes a good cutting flower, but I'm just gonna put it in the flower garden because I have a lot of reds and hot colors. I want to cool it down a little bit with some of the blues, and maybe if the baby's breath blooms, some of the whites as well. But really can't wait to put it in the ground. Just such a pretty plant. Now in the flower garden, I already have some Bachelor's button, also in the blue color scheme, and I have some feverfews that are kind of volunteers. I have tons of feverfews in the garden, and they kind of seed everywhere. I don't mind them as long they can get aggressive, but if you pull them around, it's not that bad. So I do have some of the feverfews that will be blooming this year. So again, some of that white filler to cool down all the hot reds and pinks. So anyway, this is it for the plants, and I am going to get started on the digging. Actually, before I start digging, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the space that the flower garden was before. So we had a vegetable garden there before, and then last year, actually no, the year before that, fall of 2016, I planted winter rye, and I let it actually grow to seed last year around this time of the year, and I will flash the picture of what it looked like. It looked stunning. Like the whole place was this beautiful rye grass, and just like the simplicity of it and the way light hit it, really loved and enjoyed that view. So that actually gave me an idea to make the space a flower garden and move our vegetable garden to somewhere else. Anyway, I'm going to show you the space now. Okay, so this is the space, and it is 12 by 12 feet. It used to be our vegetable garden. This area gets about 6 hours of sunlight during the day, and it is fenced from the dogs. It was fenced from the dogs for the vegetable garden. I think it will be helpful to fence it for the flower garden as well. There is a pot in the middle. I had herbs there like lavender, oregano, and chives. I think I'm going to put a boxwood in there because I'm going to have all these colorful flowers around it. So I think something like just plain green will look really nice in there. And as you can see, it's still not weeded. So my next step would be to weed the entire area, and then I will put about 2 inches layer of soil on top of this soil so I can plant my flower garden. Okay, so the area was weeded, and I put soil on top. Those little guys over there are Bachelor's button that I planted, I think, back in March. I directly sowed it over there. And that guy over there is actually feverfew, rogue feverfew that we had in the vegetable garden last year. I kind of let them seed everywhere. So those little guys, I just left them. Those are feverfews. So it's looking really good. And I am going to lay out the plants next. Okay, so this is another view. The dogs, the flower garden. I'm hoping it will be protected. Right, guys? What you think? Okay, so the plants are laid out, and the boxwood is actually really big. I love this boxwood. It's a Green Mountain boxwood right there. I'm going to plant it in the pot. There are 4 Rebecca's World dahlias around it and delphiniums. And so the idea is to have the gladiolus to kind of fringe the whole flower garden. Oh, that, by the way, is verbascum that's been sitting there for a year. I know it's a weed, but I actually like the texture of it. I want to see it bloom. But anyway, the gladiolus is going to go all around the fence, and I'm going to interplant the gladiolus with the second wave of gladiolus bulbs and the annuals. all around here. So I'm going to leave like a pathway around the pot so I can walk around and weed or fertilize if I need to, or stake. Let me know if this works. I mean, I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing a flower garden, and it's all a trial and error. So I'm going to start digging now. You all right, bud? You're a little hot, huh? I know. Okay, so I'm done, and it took me so much longer than I anticipated. I just didn't realize how many plants I had planned for this space. I knew that there were about 60 gladiolus. The ones that I forced are 30, and then there are 30 bulbs interplanted in between them. So I put the annuals in between gladiolus, so this whole place is going to fill in like a flowering meadow. This feature I absolutely adore. This boxwood fits perfectly in that pot. It is surrounded by 4 Dahlias, Rebecca's World, and 3 Delphiniums. And I did leave like a pathway around it, so if I need to fertilize or deadhead or weed, I can access the space. But it looks really good right now. It's gonna look even better in about a month when all of these plants fill in. I love, love, love the lighting here. And yeah, so I'm done. I'm very, very excited to have finished this project. It is going to be beautiful. So this project is done. I can't wait until it fills in. It's going to be so pretty. And once again, I didn't anticipate how long it will take. It took me pretty much all day, and it rained in between, so I had to stop and wait for everything to dry out. But this is gardening. This is what happens. Anyway, if you have any comments or questions, post them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.